Everybody shut up and action. Alright, so is Genie Make a Wish a good K-drama? I found it really enjoyable. This is the entire story about a genie that comes to Earth in trying to prove that humans are corrupt people. He wants to try and send them all to hell. And he has found this one human that is of pure soul that sent him and trapped him into a lamp for nearly 1,000 years because he was trying to prove that humans are corrupt, and she proved him wrong. So his punishment was to be stuck in a lamp for 1,000 years in solitude, and he was only out because he begged for one more chance to God to try and prove that he was right all along, and God gave him one last chance, and he took this chance to find this one girl and prove that she is absolutely corrupt. And then this movie spirals into a way of trying to see how she will use her 3 wishes that she has been granted to see if she is truly a corrupt human using them for selfish purposes and gains, or someone truly selfish and selfless and pure of heart. And honestly, this movie, it feels very biblical in a sense. I'm not Christian. I don't really understand the biblical aspects of it, but like you can clearly tell that this is very biblical. The entire story is very biblical, based on Christianity and Islam and Judaism, all to varying degrees. I'm not very religious, so I don't know, and I'm not going to get into that at all. It's not like something I particularly watched from a religious standpoint in any way, shape, or form. Maybe people who are followers of these religions will have a completely different perspective watching this, and I feel like they definitely will, because the story is like heavily related to that, without like that it's like taking inspiration from that, but like not heavily involving itself into it. I think I wouldn't know, so I'm just saying how it came off onto me. And you know, it's following the story about how Satan is actually this genie, and he is trying to coerce humans to go to hell through 3 bad wishes, and he makes a bet with this human that humans are inherently bad and not actually good things. And I don't know, it just spirals into this love story about the genie falling in love with a human. And yeah, like what? I'm not saying this is bad, but it was really, really, really interesting to watch. Like, I'm watching this while working out, and I'm just kind of hooked to the story. Like, every set that's complete, I'm picking up my phone and just staring deep into it, because I can't stop watching this story at all. Like, it's 13 episodes long, but throughout the entire thing, you're kind of hooked. You're entirely hooked through this entire relation between Kiki Young, whatever the girl's name is, and the genie, their entire relation, how this genie comes out of the lamp after 1,000 years, and he's just fascinated by modern Earth, willing to do anything, working in cabbage patches just to make some money that he can spend and go play in an arcade. How he has his human servant who's been working for him, keeping him updated on the land of humans while he's been trapped in a lamp. You have all these varying other aspects of this movie that come together, show that come together. Like, honestly, the key story is really interesting, but it does get very chaotic. Like, you have varying different storylines. Like, firstly, you have the entire storyline of the genie and the girl. The two, how they have this entire slow burn sort of love story forming. This girl is a complete psychopath. She doesn't know how to feel emotions. And the only reason she is, in any sense of the word, human is because her grandmother made deals with her to try and keep her safe and sane. And she's been brought up by the entire village she lives in. It's an entire community that helped raise her to make sure she stays sane and doesn't turn into a mass murderer of any type. And, you know, in a sense, she cares for them, the entire city as well, but in her own kind of way. Like, she doesn't know emotions. She doesn't understand what it feels like, and people still do criticize her, but at the same time, people in the area do sort of care for her in a way, but at the same time, they can't really connect with her, and the person that truly cares for her the most is her grandmother and her best friend. Like all these relations are really cute and interesting to watch, but then it gets a little heavily chaotic going into all these different storylines. Oh, we've got 5 people who you want me to prove are corrupt through the 3 wishes, and you're going through the different storylines of each of them, how they all have some very loose or very tight relations to Kiki Young, how all 5 of them have their own entire storylines in general, how all of these connect to the entire overarching storyline of this 1,000 years situation, how it all connects back to the basis of the creation of the world and the religious aspect of this movie, how the entire storyline of Israel and his brothers exist, the entire storyline between them, the brotherhood, the brothers, other genies, other angels. Like, there's so much going on in here. At times, you definitely feel lost. You lose yourself into the plot, not in the sense of immersion, but in the sense of, wait, what's going on again? Like, Like, yeah, I've felt myself lost multiple times, and I'm just watching, but then story just keeps going forward and forward, and you're just like, generally piece things back together and you're like, oh, that's what happened, okay, and then you're back hooked into the story, and that's just kind of unsettling when you're watching it, but like at the same time it's just a really engaging story, and the main thing that's engaging you is this relationship between the psychotic girl and Satan, and you're like, okay, I am really digging this romance. I'm really shipping this, you know, like I am hooked, I am engaged, and the visuals in this entire story are absolutely gorgeous. CGI is beautiful, cinematography beautiful. Like I don't know what it is with K-dramas and Korean shows and movies in general, but the DPs deserve phenomenal praise. The directors deserve phenomenal praise. Like the shot selection, shot design, and how the shots end up looking are always so beautifully aesthetic and just beautiful in general, and just really captivate and immerse you into these shows and movies, whatever. But like this one shows no exception. It is absolutely gorgeous to the eye, and it just really hooks you and immerses you into this relationship to a whole nother level. Honestly, this show was really engaging. It is very comedic, and it gets heavily into the drama. It has mystery surrounding it that keeps you going like, yeah, I think I need to watch the next episode now. And then the final episode is just like a cleanup, telling you like an epilogue that just drags on, and you're like, okay, just hurry up and end. But like, that's the fault that many shows go into when they struggle with the endings, and this show did struggle with the ending a little, but like, even then, it's like, it was nice. It's more like a slice of like feel good type of ending where we're trying to just give a conclusion to everything, but at the same time, it just, parts of it don't make sense, and part of it just feel like it's dragging on just to try and conclude every single character, and you're like, okay, you could have just said this person goes to heaven, the grandma goes to heaven, oh yeah, you know, like, it just drags on and on. It tries to cover and give a feel-good ending for every little part of it, where it's like, it felt good, now you're just dragging it, now it's okay, another feel-good moment, okay, it feels good, but like, you're still dragging it, you know, you can end it now, and I don't know, it just feels very, very draggy at the end, and just lengthens the entire show for a needless purpose. But like, in the end, you still do enjoy it to a degree, because you like seeing how these feel-good endings come together to give like a settling, happy sort of ending to every single character. And I don't know, it's just like a heart-touching sort of show, and I don't know, I did enjoy it. I really like the show. I think it was a good watch. And that is Genie Make a Wish. Peace.